have been suffering forever. We see this suffering all across the world, in Africa, Europe, Asia, North America, you name it. I guarantee there's been people suffering there. With this suffering comes a hunger deep inside of us that will do just about anything to make it out of this suffering. People will lie, cheat, steal, murder just to end their suffering. Many people look to money to end their suffering. Many people don't want to wait to get rich. They just want to get rich quick. With Bitcoin on the rise and the stock increasing over 500% in the last 12 years, people have begun to look at it as an opportunity. A lot of people have even figured out how to mine Bitcoin and put money into their pocket out of thin air. Today we examine this gold rush of 2021 and see if we can make some money mining Bitcoin. First, before we start mining Bitcoin, let's talk a little bit about the history of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created in 2009 by Satoshi Nakamoto. He wanted to create a quote-unquote new electronic cash system that was quote-unquote completely decentralized with no server or central authority, which essentially means they didn't want any government or corporation having oversight over this electronic currency. Since 2009, people all over the world have been mining, buying, or trading Bitcoin. As the price of Bitcoin has risen from a few pennies in 2009 to several $1,000s in 2021, it's getting increasingly harder to buy Bitcoin for the average person. Hence, some people may resort to mining it instead. Now, why even mine or buy Bitcoin in the first place, you might be asking? Well, it has to do with something called inflation. Now, what exactly is inflation? In finance terms, it's when the price of a currency, good, or service rises from its existing price. Now, how's this tie into Bitcoin? Well, for the longest, people have been preaching to save your money and place it into the bank. Now, that was a good suggestion before the gold standard in 1971, when we weren't printing money and its value was based off of the value of gold. But in the 21st century, when the government constantly prints off money and the value of money constantly declines, it's insane to say save your money. The supply is increasing while the value is decreasing. Now with Bitcoin, the value is increasing, but there is a catch to it. There's a limited supply of Bitcoin. There's over 21 million Bitcoin and over 18 million of it has already been mined. So the value of Bitcoin is only going to drastically increase in the near future due to its low supply and the increasing value. Now let's get into how we can actually mine Bitcoin. So first things first, you want to go to this website called betterhash.net and you'll be able to download betterhash.net. It's an app. I downloaded it on Windows 10. I don't know if it'll work on any other device. But when I looked up directions for how to mine Bitcoin, I went to betterhash.net. So you'll see I had betterhash.net up, mining Bitcoin on my Windows 10 for about 30 minutes, and all it was able to mine was 4 cents. Now, this is not good at all. I mean, for my computer, it's good. But compared to people who do this for a living, that have multiple computers running, high-speed computers with way better Wi-Fi than me, that's able to mine like thousands of dollars per month or a week, yeah, I say I'm doing a pretty decent job for only having one school computer. Keep in mind I'm in high school, for only having one school computer that's a Windows 10. So I was only able to mine 4 cents in half an hour. It shows you that I'll be mining $1.12 monthly income. And in the monthly income is definitely fluctuating throughout my process of just mining Bitcoin. It reached as high as 5 cents and $1.44 per month at one point in time. But to top it all off, before I clicked the stop button, I ended up finishing with about 4 cents mined in a day. And I only had $1.37 in monthly income that was projected if I was mining at the rate I was. So what can we even learn from an experience like this, from mining Bitcoin? Well, what I learned is that unless you have high-tech gear and a lot of computers, you shouldn't be mining Bitcoin. I only made 4 cents today mining Bitcoin. My highest was at 5 cents and like $1.44 per month that I would be making off of Bitcoin alone. That wasn't as good. I was not expecting anything to be like crazy numbers, like making $1,000 a day off of Bitcoin mining, when I don't even have high-tech computers to mine that much Bitcoin. So what I would say is, for me personally, I do plan on buying Bitcoin in the future. I mean, obviously not right now because I can't afford to, but when I have certain investments that I'll be making in the future that produce enough money so that I'll be able to buy Bitcoin in the future, I will be doing that. Another interesting note is I wonder what's going to happen to Bitcoin when all of it's been mined. Will it still be valuable? Will investors pull all their money out of Bitcoin? Who knows? That's something that I'll be very interested to see. Right now, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like $35,000 for just one Bitcoin, which is crazy. It is very volatile though, so that could change at any moment in time. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, I hope you learned something in this video. The history of Bitcoin, how to mine Bitcoin, if you should mine Bitcoin, depending on your circumstance. Yeah, it's been my pleasure teaching you about Bitcoin, the history of it, and hope you enjoyed the video. I did change my channel name. It was called just my name, Amari Leslie. If you guys did not know, I'm Amari Leslie, but this new channel's name is going to be called The Wealth Lens. I did that for reasons in the future that I plan to, well, I'm not going to say it, but it deals with, just watch my later video, my videos before this. It deals with entities, so yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I changed my channel name to The Wealth Lens instead of just my name. It has something to do with branding. But that might be another video for another day. Without any further ado, video's over. It's been my pleasure teaching you guys about Bitcoin. Peace.